Hey everybody, Jake here for American Trucks, and today I'm chatting with Mike about his 2016 Ford F-150. Mike, thanks so much for being here with me today.
Thanks for having me.
So to go over the specs of your truck, you've got a 2016 F-150. For wheels, you've got the Fuel Rages in gloss black with the red tint. These are 20x9s with a 1mm offset, making for a flush stance. For tires, you're running the Mickey Thompson Baja Boss ATs. These are 35x12.5s. And for suspension, you've got the Roush by Fox 2.0 suspension kit. What made you choose this sort of setup? Was there some kind of inspiration behind your build?
It was mainly for the style, because everyone here in Michigan has either a leveled or lifted truck. I do live on dirt, basically, so it does off-road from time to time. And I haven't taken it solely off-roading yet.
All right, so let's kind of dive into it then. I want to start with the wheels. So again, these are the Fuel Rages in gloss black with the red tint. They're 20x9s with a 1mm offset, making for that pretty flush stance. So what do you like about this wheel? What drew you to it initially?
So I wasn't actually looking for that style of wheel. I was actually kind of looking for a kind of bronzish off-road wheel, and I couldn't really find one in a style that I liked, so I just kept looking. And then I found the white version of that wheel. I was like, those look nice. I think I'll just end up caving and getting those. So I scrolled farther and I saw that wheel. I looked out at my truck. I was like, that's like the most perfect wheel for my truck I've ever seen. So I was like, well, I found my wheels.
Pretty safe to say then you're really happy with the way these look on the truck?
Oh, I'm very pleased with how these look on the truck.
I want to talk about the width and the offset and the stance. So again, these are pretty much a flush stance, so you really don't have much, if any, poke out from the fenders. So what made you choose that width and offset? Was that just a product of, I found the wheels and they come in this size, or were you looking for that size?
So I actually pre-ordered the size I wanted. I don't care for having my wheels stick out so far.
Let's talk about those tires. So again, these are the Mickey Thompson Baja Boss ATs, and they're 35x12.5 R20s. So what made you go with those versus like going all the way to a mud terrain or sticking with something that's more street oriented?
Curiosity mostly, because when I started this build, Mickey Thompson had just came out with this tire. They look good, but I want to see this tire. Pictures mean nothing to me, because I've actually seen the KO2s from BF Goodrich. I've actually seen the Goodyear Duratrax, and those were the two I was debating, but I had a lot of people tell me the Duratrax are loud. I was like, well, then I'll go with the KO2s. I mean, the Raptor gets them from the factory, but then I saw these tires. I was like, well, I'm about to spend that much on KO2s. Let me just satisfy my curiosity and see what they look like. And once I actually saw the tire, I was like, these are gonna look good on the truck.
So how do you find that they drive, especially as compared to your stock setup? Do you notice any noise? Are they bumpy at lower speeds, anything like that?
When I put the level on before the tires, I felt like the truck rode better, but I feel like it rides better with the Fox shocks. And then once I put the tires on, I felt that it feels basically like a stock truck, but taller. You would think these tires are loud for being hybrid all-terrains. No, they're like quiet as hell. I'm shocked at how quiet they are. They are with how aggressive they look.
Did the tire shop have any issues getting them mounted and balanced up on your truck?
No, he didn't say anything balancing wise. No, the complaint was really just the crash bars when they first initially tried to put them on.
Did you notice any error with the speedometer or odometer after you got them on?
From my stock height that he selected and going to 35s, I'm supposed to be 5 miles an hour faster than what my speedometer says. I think I'm more like 3, because every time I like look at my speed on when I have like Google Maps pulled up on my phone, my truck will say I'm doing 71, but the Google Maps thing will say I'm doing like 74.
So it's reading a little bit lower than what you're actually going.
Yeah, it's a little bit lower than what the truck is supposed to be doing.
Since, again, these are upsized, did you notice the truck feeling any more sluggish since you put these on?
Only thing I noticed is that on the highway, the transmission doesn't like going in the 6th gear anymore. And when it does, it's more of at a downward slope because it's not having to work.
Let us jump over then. I want to talk about the suspension kit. So again, this is the Roush by Fox 2.0 suspension kit. So tell me what made you go with this one?
So I just started looking at leveling kits, and the fact that I saw one that said Roush, and I looked into it further, and apparently that kit they actually put on at the factory if the customer buying the truck requested it. So if you were ordering a 16 F-150 and you said you wanted it leveled, that's what it got.
It sounds like you kind of did everything, wheels, tires, suspension, around the same time, right?
I knew a buddy who owned a lift, so I borrowed his lift to put the leveling kit on. It's really simple to put this kit on. It's literally like basically replacing the struts with factory stuff. Only downside was I did have to cut the sway bar links off because they use the awesome friction locking nuts on the factory ones, so they're ovaled out instead of nylon locking nuts.
So you got new sway bars when you did this then, right?
I got new links from my job. Yeah, the tires get there, so I bring the wheels. They put the tires on the wheels. They mount them up, and you got like that much steering space. You could only move the wheel like a foot, like half a meter, and then another half a meter. So I had to find a friend and take it to my friend's shop and have them cut the crash bars off.
So now that you've got the 35s on there, you don't have any issues with rubbing or anything like that?
The passenger side rubs a little bit now because it's like the first tire that hits my driveway, and because how they grade this road, I have a speed bump for an entrance now. So it pushes this tire up into the plastic wheel well, and the wheel well is now kind of like folded out to the point where now any right turn will rub.
Did you have any issues getting an alignment done after you had all this installed?
They were actually concerned I threw it out of alignment because we did all that front end work. No, it was perfect. They didn't even have to align it. They didn't charge me an alignment fee or nothing.
Is your truck sitting pretty much even now? It looks like it is from the photos.
That was my fear actually, because I've seen a lot of the trucks where they got this kit, or they got the 2.5 leveling kit, and I see that somehow their trucks are now squatting instead of level. I'm like, how is that level if they're squatting? Which is why I didn't want to go with the puck kit, because I seen that was happening in mostly the puck kits, or the kits that you got struts, but they gave you like some weird like rubber pucks to put in the back.
Now that you've had the truck, you've driven it like this for a while, is there anything that you would do differently if you had to do it all over again?
Well, this doesn't really pertain to the kit, but I wish I had actually jacked up or had a lift for when I put the exhaust on my truck.
Do you have any plans for the future? What's next?
I've been thinking about getting one of them pedal monsters or something.
Oh, like a throttle controller or a pedal commander?
Yeah, eliminates the lag between your pedal and the actual throttle. I've been thinking about one of them. I've been thinking about taking it to a tuner for the cold air intake it has and stuff, so it actually does better than 13 miles to the gallon.
So Mike, thank you again so much for being here with me and talking about your truck. I want to go over your setup one more time. Again, Mike is driving a 2016 F-150. For wheels, he's running the Fuel Rages in gloss black with the red tint. These are 20x9s with a 1mm offset, making for a flush stance. For tires, he's running the Mickey Thompson Baja Boss ATs. These are 35x12.5 R20s. And for suspension, he's got the Roush by Fox 2.0 suspension kit. So Mike, thank you again so much for being here with me. Thank you all for watching. And remember, for all things F-150, be sure to keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.